definitely not me deciding to go to the toilet real quick, forgetting to pause the game. So now it's like 8 o'clock. This is not raining. No, darling. Right, so saying this at the end of the video. The issue is with the way I edit, I never know until I get there what exactly you're gonna get talking wise. Because I could assume this is gonna be a 40-minute long video and I just do the entire week together and keep talking about my rants on gaming and Harry Potter. But I probably should change topic because no doubt that's split and people are just going to be confused. Not as confused as I am. My brain I live in. Oh yeah, I'm so mad. Like, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, I'm sure I have in passing. I am writing a story, right? Because one of my goals in life is to publish a book. Don't have many goals in life, so like don't get too excited, but one of them is to publish a book, because weirdly I like writing. I also watch a lot of Asian dramas, so my YouTube feed often get suggestions of like trailers and stuff for various Asian dramas, and that's fine. And I was so peeved because I got a concept trailer suggestion, so I don't know any more than the concept itself of a new drama, which happens to have a very similar premise to the bloody book I'm writing. And I have that whole thing. I'm already going to have that issue of not so much copyright infringement, because hopefully it wouldn't be the same. One of my greatest fears is someone reading something I've written and then turn around and be like, oh, isn't this just the plot of... Enter another more famous title here, or... Oh, I see you've copied ideas from someone else. Even though, no, I haven't copied ideas. This is just what I thought, and then I put it to words and it ended up similar, and I don't know how it happened because I never consumed this media before. Like, I started watching Ancient Magus Bride the other week, anime. And the main character, she ends up with a familiar who is a church grim. And that, oh my god, I finally found it for the first time. Thank you for the money. I kinda need it, I lost a lot. A similar plot point happens in my own story, because I got fascinated with church grims, and specifically the idea of a dog being buried first so that to protect the souls of those who live there. So it's like slightly different. I mean, depends which mythos and histories you're playing with, depends on the meaning behind it. It's not a one and done thing, because I looked into it. But say my main character, he happens to pick up a church grim as not so much familiar, because that's just not how it would work in my universe, but the dog has claimed his owner. I literally write him like a cat. My little shadow. Basking in sunlight, emotional support doggy. Who looks like a dog until it turns to night, and then he doesn't look like a dog anymore. No, he doesn't look human, he looks like a shadow. Hence his name, Shadow. I'm very blemmin' creative. Anyway, but I was just watching it and going, oh no. Like, I don't expect my book will have a far reach when it finally gets released. But people are gonna ask questions. I have to finish writing that at some point. Then I have to do advertisement, and I didn't want to go down the book talk route of trying to advertise my book, but I'm going to have to go down the book talk route of trying to advertise my book. But I don't want to do that, because that involves doing the self-promotion thing, and I don't like doing the self-promotion thing. That's why this channel's failing. I really hate doing self-promotion. I know you guys have listened to various things I've started, so some of you'll know I have a Etsy shop where I make stuff and sell stuff. I don't advertise myself at all well, so I don't actually have any sales. Even though I've got like 20 listings. Which reminds me I also need to edit the listings and move some stuff around. But yeah, no, I hate doing self-promotion. My mouse is gonna die. That is very not convenient. Well, we'll see how long it lasts, and I just have to use my tracer pad. There's a couple of other medias I have seen recently, and then I realised that they're new medias to me, so I've never seen them before. So it's not like I am stealing the ideas because I've never seen this media before, it's new. And I just hope that no one thinks that, because there is one media I have not copied per se, but I am highly inspired by it. And I have to live with the knowledge that someone might work that out eventually. But I just hate to be accused for stealing stuff I didn't steal when there is stuff I did steal. Though I didn't steal it because I'm not stolen, it's not the same. It's just very much inspired. Yeah, writing's fun. I like writing. Then I have like 3 books planned. 1 I'm currently writing and 2 more just in the planning stage. Which, for various reasons, not that I don't trust you guys, but I'm just saying I don't trust you guys. I'm not going to go into great details, but the one I'm writing at the moment is like supernatural and close to death, exploring death via the reincarnation cycle. Which reincarnation is very important to my story because it saves a lot of arguments. And because I go based on, I can just write what I like. It makes life easier. Don't have to do the whole God thing. Life is fun. Then I've got Princess in a Tower, typical romancy style story. Which, out the 3 of them, that is going to be the more typical romance. They all have romance in them, to a degree. I don't really like romance, it's just sex sells. The fact there'll be no smut in it will ignore, but yeah, sex sells. Princess in a Tower style thing, though, it's not quite as simple as that. I feel like I'm achieving nothing, I'm just running around whilst talking at you guys. Really should do something. I did my tower clock. And then I've got a superhero, supervillain story I want to write, so they're all 3 very different stories I've got planned, and they're definitely not all gay. They're not. A typical romance story is going to be a typical romance. Boy meets girl, boy falls in love, girl couldn't care less. Suddenly girl cares, boy leaves. Nah, not that dramatic. More like, so... This one I don't mind giving slight spoilers to, because I won't give away the main thing. And taking into account I haven't started writing in this, so this will probably change quite a bit. But it's very much Princess in the Tower. She's not so much the princess, but she's the grand mage of the Elven Kingdom. And she's been sent away to live in a tower, not because of her being a terrible person or her family being a terrible people. It's more that stuff happened and she's seen as the saviour of her kingdom. I'm just realising this is very free run, but it veers off quite quickly. Yeah, she's saviour, she did a thing, she's a good person, saved the day, but when she came back after saving the day, she was hurt and fed up with people, and so the king, who is her brother, it's not going to be given away straight away that she's actually the princess, but the king, who is her brother, turned around and went, maybe you should go somewhere and rest up, recuperate. You know, somewhere where you don't have to feel like your calling is a burden. And she basically goes, you know what, that sounds fantastic. I'm going to go away. And she gets given guards to protect her because she's still a princess. Even though she doesn't need protecting because she's a badass mage. But she's injured. Spiritually injured, so her magic's affected. So brother keeps sending guards, and they don't really last long because she lives in a tower as far away from people as she can get. And she's about self-sufficient as she can be, you know, using magic and stuff to do crops. Rainy, but not green. I kind of want to test out my sword. I probably should take some food with me. I'm going to take everything else with me because that's how I roll. Yeah, so most of the times that people don't really stay long, she lives pretty desolate. And she has no interest in making her way to populated areas, so she'll send her guard off on the occasion to pick up stuff. And they effectively just become errand boys and girls, and they lose interest, and it doesn't seem like such a prestigious posting after a while. And she doesn't care. She knows they're going to leave, so why make the effort? She's also half waiting for death. I feel like this is a terrible idea. Yeah, she's half waiting for death. They say her injury has affected her, as well as the battle, but she knows the battle isn't over. So her abilities are going to be needed to go again, and she knows she's not going to survive the next time, hence her waiting for death. Anyway, so she has many guards over the years. Did I mention she was an elf? So like we're talking many years. And then eventually our protagonist, he gets sent. And he's very much just like, okay, cool. We're doing this now. He's a good man. He's not immediately put off with the idea of having to watch over her. And I'm not too sure about what race I want him to be. So she's elf and it's Elven Kingdom, but like I have this beautiful scene in mind, which won't make much sense about the full context, but I refuse to give the full context of him being a wolf shifter and taking her up a snowy mountain side on his back. So a lot of these guys. It's like part of me goes, kind of cool if he was a wolf shifter. But then I don't know if that's just going to make the monster effers out there a little bit too happy. Ooh, a cursed mannequin. That sounds good. I am not putting that down. I know what they do. But it's just meant to be him showing her that it doesn't matter what's coming in the future, she can still live for the now. Not that he knows that she's fated to basically die. I don't like the fact I can see the Grim Reaper now. Yay! I feel like I was meant to get that before I got the Iridium Scythe. But yeah, anyway, she's fated to die in the end. She will die in the end, because that's how it's written. Or will she? I'm also slightly torn because I have this fantastic idea to link her in with one of my D&D NPCs. And I'm so tempted to, just for the enjoyment of my party and myself, which means she has to live. I haven't, so it's one of those details where I could either make the ending really sad or I can make it really happy, but I won't know until I get there. So because my current two plans are, calamity happens, she fends off the calamity, uses up the last of her life force to do it. She dies, he's sad, right? The other option is, calamity happens, and he helps her fend off the calamity by giving her his life force, and he dies. And if I do that, there's a link somewhere, which I'll explain. Or the third option, which is nobody dies, everyone lives. But I'm not always a big fan of those stories. I like the depression I get from writing it. Seriously, I wrote a death scene for my current book and I was crying whilst doing it. And I'm the author. It's like, why am I doing this to the precious babies? So is that the only purpose of this cave, by the way, the golden scythe? Torn. But it's one of those stories I'm not going to know until I start writing. Say, even with my current story, there's going to be a character death in it. And I wasn't sure it was going to happen until I started writing, and then I realised, yes, it's exactly what my little friends need. Oh, leave the mind. That was... I don't feel like I got the true sense of how strong my sword was doing that. I should bring some bombs back here. And the way it would link back to my D&D characters, so I have this elven... what is she? Alchemist, you could say. She makes loads of fun stuff that I give to my party. Her favourite thing is just different ability lollipops, but it's a big thing where she doesn't... And then she can... One of the other things she does, she can make enchant weapons. But she doesn't make them magical. But she can give them cool abilities. It was basically my want to give... allow my party players to have cool abilities with weapons, but like not automatically make them magical. So that early game they could have some cool stuff without ruining the many monsters resistant to magic rule, which was a lot of fun. No, bust. Anyway, so I have this guy. And her name's Celestia. I haven't chosen a name for my character yet in the book, so I could call her Celestia. And so she's kind of a favourite of the party. She's really helpful. She has this amazing floating island observatory thingy that she can teleport around. And she takes it all sorts of places. Normally to where the party is, so she can hang around and my party members will jump off the top of the floating island. Normally it's floating above water, but still, it's kind of annoying. It's a thing they do. But she has a thing for one of the... Well, I say she has a thing. One of the PC's brothers, who is an elf lord, he has a thing for her. Like, it's very much a childish crush, because she is a lot older than seems to be. So your name's Celestia, pure white hair. That is the wrong chest. Very stereotypical sort of moon goddessy style. He has a bit of a crush on her. And I kind of have the idea of her being the same person, and it does end. It ends with her current love being taken away due to aiding with the magic spell. Which I know very sad. But it would end with her looking out across the township IPC's brother rules over, and just watching him longingly. You know, she learnt to love in a previous life, but too late, and now she doesn't want to let love go. And for me, that is just so much better and cuter and wonderful, because it means more to me. It would probably mean a lot to my player character. Is my real life sister. Okay, bombs can do no damage. I know what we're gonna do today. Oh, thanks Pam, I'm assuming. But yeah, I just think it'd be really cute, because I don't know if I'm ever gonna finish the campaign. But it also would build onto Celestia's backstory in the campaign, and I might write about it. But I am now realising as I describe it how Violet Evergarden-esque it's going to be. But without the full on, because it's not like he's teaching her how to love, he's just reminding her that there's the possibility of. Either way, it's unintentionally very Violet Evergarden-esque now I'm thinking about it. So I might have to do a bit of a rewrite. Though it's not written this way. But it's meant to be very cute, very romantic, very sweet, vaguely traumatic. Whereas I think the hero and villain one, ironically, is meant to be the least traumatic. Which I like to point out, one of my favourite genres of fanfiction to read is hurt and comfort. Or hurt no comfort. Oh, this is my comfort character, he's never had a day of comfort in his life. Nip over to Ginger, and then I think I'm gonna go to... Oh wait, where am I going? Unless you can go that way. I didn't know that was a shortcut. I know I uploaded them, but I didn't know that was one of them. And I say that the hero and villain is even more classic. Case of hero and villain fall in love. Once again, romancy. I'm sorry. This one's gonna be gay though. But it's like dystopian world setup. Everything is. It's low tolerance of crime. All crime is punished. You know, very military, yes, dystopian, but with heroes. And our, ironically, hero of the story, he isn't aware he's part of a game. He's just doing the best he can to be a hero. Because that's... I've come here to do all this, and I've just realised. I don't have the space for this. Now, if I take the fish, I know... gonna be making me money. But yeah, so he's not aware he's in the program. He's kind of a famous hero. Like, he's purposely... I don't know how to describe this. And I feel like as I describe it, I'm going to realise it sounds like something else. Hero is basically a sham. He doesn't realise this. He's one of those heroes who think he's actually doing the hero stuff and believes that all the hero stuff he does is genuine. Whereas most people know that it's all... Well, and then the population also think it's all, like, genuinely saving the day, genuinely a hero. But he doesn't realise it's all a big con. Like, the government are controlling everything. The crimes he's stopping. Most of them, it's the government itself paying people to commit the crimes to make them look good. I say it's done it to make it himself look, the government or the establishment, whatever you want to call it. They have the heroes to make themselves look good, even though, like, the police force basically... We're talking Gestapo levels of locking people away and throwing out people who cause issues, whilst highly televising the hero saving the day. And I say our main protagonist, he's going to be caught up in the lie. That is, heroes are good and bad guys are actually bad guys. Whereas the villain of the story, he's aware of how corrupt these so-called good guys are. 13 levels, ow! And it just does it all as a mockery. Still a villain, still a powerful bad guy. He's not going to be one of these villains like, I'm a villain because I'm against the system. But secretly I'm actually a good guy, it's just the system's bad. He's like, the system's corrupt as heck. And guess what? I'm not much better. And it's mainly going to be a story of the hero slowly realising that the system is corrupt and he's part of that. And he won't necessarily join the bad guys. Like, he isn't going to immediately fall into the villain's arms and be like, oh no, you were totally right, like, they're such bad people, why bother, I'm just gonna be one of you now. They'll do the classic, we will fight together to get rid of a bigger enemy. It won't end with them being on the same side, because villain's got to villain and the hero's always going to be a hero. Because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate stories when they do that. And then the villain be like, I guess I'm a good guy now. Like, power of friendship. Oh, I need to exterminate some of you. But once again, I haven't really it all through. I haven't planned it out. I've been currently brainstorming the abilities, because it's meant to be superhero, but with like actual powers and not just capes and spandex and a utility belt. And I was thinking about the classic ice and fire combination. Hero having icy powers and the villain having fiery powers. Definitely not because I see him with like red hair, sleeve tat, leather. Definitely not because I have to have an image of that in my head. Then I'm not sure how the hero is gonna look, because I don't want it to be, because it's meant to be a sort of a dystopian style story. I don't want to go with the overly cheesy and classic pants over trousers, superhero costumes, and bright colours and spandex. You know, tight fitting. So I'm trying to think of a good compromise. I'm going to have to do a bit of research to work out what Ice Boy's going to look like. So of course he has to be in costume to sell the bit. The villain doesn't actually need to be in costume. He doesn't care. He's seen a corrupt government and gone, I can play with that. And that's what he's doing. And yet, if you want to send me to a treasure room, that'd be fantastic. But they're the three big ones. Excuse me. I've got currently going on planned. I just need that really famous motivation-y type thing I can never seem to get to write. Now, I'd love to have a relook at my pirates story I started writing years ago. And my demon one. Oh, this is the more type of level I wanted. Any skeletons here? Don't look like it, that's disappointing. And I'd like to point out, I haven't read a lot of hero villain stories myself, so I don't know what other people have done. Some beautiful people keep using them in YouTube shorts. Danny Phantom, I'm looking at you. And I saw it, just went, you know what, I want to write that. So I am. But I'm not obviously writing that because that's his own story. He's not the only one who's done it. It's a popular vibe. Brand new sword and it's still really difficult to kill slaps. And these are all meant to be standalone stories. I don't want to make them multiple book journeys. Not right now. Not whilst I'm starting off. Something I might look into in the future. Because I say I'm really inspired by the people I read growing up. Because most of the books I read growing up were part of series. I mean, it's like Percy Jackson with all the spin-offs. Still to the day is some of my favourite books. The Eragon series. So Eragon, Eldest, Brisinga, and Inheritance. Another set I loved. My god, Treasure Room! My god, Omnigeodes! And part of me feels like it'd be easy to write a book. I know it's not. Oh my god, another treasure room! Mega bombs! So I know from experience it's not easy to write a book. But it's something I always wanted to do, so I'm trying it. And you know what I'm like with AI and my dislike for it taking over these style of things, and I need to replace it all with me instead. Which reminds me, does anyone know what's up with those YouTube shorts that have a short playing, or a TV clip or something playing, and then in the background, it's got like descriptive talking playing. So it'll be sort of describing, poorly might I add, what's going on, but you can't actually hear it because of the audio. It just sounds like a weird background file playing. Because I don't know what's up with that, and it's just blooming annoying. Like, if it was audio description to help people who can't see, well, you can't hear the audio description because it's too quiet. So the few times I have heard it, it's not really describing what's going on well. Ah, this is what I'm here for. That's a little low. But yeah, so if anyone has any clue why that's suddenly a thing, it's one of those things where, say, I don't really know, and I'm pretty sure it'll be some AI adjacent BS that's allowing it to run. Don't know if they're testing stuff, hoping people correct the content if it's explaining the situation wrong. At the end of the day, I don't have control over what other people want to... Oh, that's mean! I don't have control over what other people want to play, control, design. So I'll use my creative freedom when I can. Oh, 1,000 gold. Oh, and it's the end of the summer. Maybe I should go to desert again and just trade all those in. This will take another daffodil with me. But it means I can't go to the beach to collect all my beach stuff. Do not eat the daffodil. I really need to read more things, but when I get too into reading, that's when I start forgetting the whole writing stuff. But I'm sure at some point something will happen. I'll be like, oh my god, yeah, that answers the next part of my story. And I say, who knows, maybe one day you'll see Miss C's name on a book she's published. Then you can laugh at me as I fail. It's the other thing, I've never really thought about if I would write under a pen name or not. I know it's not as popular now, I'd say, as it used to be. Like back in the day when women weren't allowed to write, it was not uncommon for women to use pen names or false names, specifically male names, to get published and noticed more. I'm kind of a private-ish person. I don't want to tell you guys literally everything that goes on. Like, hey, who wants to hear about my period in deep detail? Not you guys, which is why I don't tell you in deep details. Just the emotional side you have to deal with. So I sort of assumed I would put myself under a pen name, which would be, if I was going to do a pen name, it would be my original character's name. But she's been with me for years now, and she's basically myself. Because I'm one of those weirdos who, when trying to sleep, will make up stories in her head, and they're never going to be about me. Hey, I stayed just to give you that. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. And part of me is still like, yeah, I should totally use one of my pen names rather than... Anyways, because if I was going to do a name, it would be Titania Orlando. Which I know sounds really pretentious and stuff, and I realise it would be a very long name rather than my own. It is my alter ego. And then I could keep myself relatively private. So I'm saying, because privacy is big for me, it's why I so rarely show myself on camera. Which I definitely show myself more than I ever intended to, because I've done like 4 videos where you've seen my face. But I don't know if that'd be just taking things too far. Like, as I say, it's not Victorian England. I don't have to hide my identity, so that my husband doesn't know I'm publishing stories. Though the more shocking thing in this scenario is I have a husband. But then again, would my real name be weird? Because I have kind of a weird name. I'm not going to say my name. So you freaks can find me. I don't want you freaks to find me. So I'm pretty sure I've said my actual human name, and if you really wanted to, you could do a back picture search on my face, which you guys know. Why did something go really quiet? Or is it just us doing this? Oh yeah. Don't know, but then had relatives who publish, and it would just be kind of nice to have my name on a book. Not really planning to get married, so I don't need to risk the whole changing my name in the future. If I could just get an elfish bracelet, that'd be fantastic. I don't know. I've never really thought about it. Well, actually, clearly I have thought about it. Else, that wouldn't be something I'd thought about. But then again, if everyone hates my book, and then it doesn't have to be closely associated with me. Thanks, Clint. You're always disappointing me. I don't have enough inventory space now for... Yeah, but I don't have enough inventory space for everything else. Back home I go. It's just one of those things. I don't know if anyone actually has a pen names now. It's like actors not using their real name. That's more because they're just too cool for us. But I know specifically, the stories I'm planning to write them, well, then again, that'd be actually kind of a lie. So I'd say the stories I'm thinking about writing at the moment, they shouldn't specifically make anyone hate me, and I remember the whole reincarnation cycle story that I'm writing, and there are probably some people out there in the world who would significantly dislike that story just because of it not being it not being choose a god. Weirdly, there are some people very passionate about stories, and some of them don't like it when you just be like, yeah, sure, there is no god. So I'm really not sure on the whole how I'm going to do this. But first I need to finish writing my stories, then I need to edit my stories, I need to publish my stories. Or find someone interested to publish my stories. So I know, like, self-publishing, oh my god, that's a lot of truffles, is a big thing people do now, hence the whole book talk thing. I wouldn't dislike the idea of it, it's just it's a lot more risk on my end. But then, if people like it, it's higher reward than if, say, I go through a publisher, but then I have to find a publisher who be interested in publishing it, partnering with me to get it published. And I say I have alluded to the fact it will definitely be LGBT inclusive, vaguely. I won't lie, I will never write... Oh my god, let's see if I get this right. Because I could insult so many people. I would never write a gender binary? I want to say gender binary, but I don't think that doesn't feel right. Some of the pronouns they, them. Not because I dislike them. Not because I hate them. It's just, I find it hard enough to follow story flow sometimes when I'm skip editing, because I read really quickly by skipping over a lot of what I'm reading. So and it would just confuse the hell out of me to have a they them in there, and I'm so sorry, they thems. It's not you, it is generally a me problem. If I met you in real life, I'm more than happy to use the correct pronouns. Do not worry, my delightful kittens. It's just for the sake of writing and editing for me, I wouldn't write that character. Not now, anyway. Maybe in the future, you know, when I get more confident with it. It's like I would never write as a main character. I would never write a trans character. And before, once again, we crucify me. Before we crucify me, guys. It's because I have very little understanding over the joys and tribulations you guys have to go through. And where I'm pretty confident writing gay and straight, because it's not the same. No, just because it's easier for me to... I don't know how to describe this without just like completely shooting myself in the foot. It's once again one of those things where I don't have a problem with you living your life. It's your life, you live it, it's not my life. So it's not that I hate you guys. It's not why I wouldn't write a character. I would just never be able to do the correct justice you'll deserve, whilst accurately portraying what you have to go through. And I'm happy to admit that, and that's why I wouldn't write a character like that as a main character. And I know saying main character is because I would need to. I feel like I'd need to focus on them more, whereas if they were just a side or an honourable mention, though that feels so wrong to say. I'm not a mean person, I swear. I don't mean this like, I'm not trying to be a big meanie. I was just thinking about so little fish, and I remembered I can't be able to go to the beach. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a big meanie. I just wouldn't. I don't have the linguistic abilities right now to portray those characters to a level I would be happy to share without making them seem one-dimensional and pointless. Like I say, I feel confident in writing a gay character because I have written a lot of gay characters. You know, I was that fanfiction kid. I did write a lot. And I'm not even going to say that that just makes me. I would never say that because of that I am the best. Well, basically the best. I'm not. I won't be terrible. But I understand there's a fine balance between making a character be gay without just trying to turn them to a sissy girl. The same as writing female characters. Just because they're a female character, it doesn't mean that automatically, wow, my leg hurts. Wow, I fell over. Leon, save me. And I can apply that to the other gender. I'm highly considering writing lesbians as well. Which I know sounds really weird to be like, oh yeah, I write gay and straight, and maybe I'll do lesbians. I mentioned it before, I'm not really comfortable with females and female anatomy and girls in general. I know I'm a woman. I'll happily admit it. I have issues. Which is why I think I've always preferred sort of gay stories, because I don't have the equipment. And I'm not getting much out of it. As I am asexual. I've gone off topic somewhere. But say at the same time, these are characters I would love to explore in the future. It's just they're not right now. And I feel like I started off by saying I would never. And for the most part, I actually mean not right now. I have a headache. And there's just plenty of people out there who will write the stories so much better than I will. I mean, once again, looking at my fan favourite, Rick, who, when he decided to write his Nico Will spin-off, so the lovely gay boys, he opted to get help from someone else, and he very openly said he was doing that, and they wrote the book collaboratively because he wanted to do them all justice. I don't have that right now, so I'm just going to make do with what I'm writing, and hopefully people like it. But I'm very much writing my stories with the idea that people have weaknesses, yes. People also have strengths. Though I won't lie, my in the first book I was writing, which I've mentioned the least about, one of the main female characters, she's the definition of all brawn, no brains, but plenty of beauty. It wasn't intentional that I wrote her ended up writing her as the character who asks all the questions. But I say, all brawns, no brains, and plenty of beauty. But she's not actually an idiot, which is apparent when you read it. She's just selectively stupid. But not in the sense of, I'm going to walk home at dark by myself. More like, I have no self-preservation. Which I think was the same thing as, but like, the different ranges of stupid. She's not stupid, she's dumb. She has street smarts but no self-preservation. But it's just finding that nice balance between characters, because when you're writing and trying to write fairly and balancedly, you still have to realise one of your characters is going to have flaws at some point. You can't have everyone a Mary Sue. even though that's the only way you're going to be able to fairly balance it so people don't turn around and be like, oh, you write all your female characters as wimpy, or why is it only the men that get the good action scenes? Or in this case, why is your character that's clearly the bottom meant to be so wimpy and weak? He has issues, that's why. He's not well. That's why he's struggling. It's not because he's coincidentally would be deemed as the bottom, though that is something I genuinely can't wait for. Getting enough people interested in my story that fanfiction gets written. Because I like the world I'm writing. I like it a lot, hence I wouldn't be writing it. I can't wait for people to write content for me, so I can keep enjoying my world. Are you guys bored of me talking about writing yet? Because I honestly don't know what we've achieved this week. I just kind of zoned out and opened my mouth. It's kind of hoping that will finish cooking. So that's the ostrich egg one. It should dump out loads of mayonnaise. So it's just that whole balance of, I'm never going to make everyone happy, but as long as I can make it fair, I could make everyone unhappy. I don't know. I want to write. I don't really care what everybody else thinks. I'm not going to sit there and make excuses for everyone, or for anyone, including myself, to why you should like my stories or read my stories. If you do, if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. I've always subscribed to the philosophy of don't like, don't read. Same rules would apply for my own writing. I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, actually, explain all my points of view. I'm sure some people are going to be highly annoyed with just my sentence of, I would never write these types of characters because I don't understand them enough to write them. And there's going to be people be like, oh, it's because you hate them. And no matter what I say, it won't change the view that I won't write these characters because I hate those types of people, which I don't. I just wouldn't write those characters. It's quite simple. I've never met people who fit in these categories. Well, it's a lie. I've known. I have met 2 transgender people in my life. One closely. They are my friend, or were my friend. I don't know. I haven't spoken to them for a couple of years because it's what happens when you split apart, grow apart. I'll put those in the bin. But let me teleport to the beach. But I've never met someone who actually used the pronouns they, them. Hence the old, I wouldn't know where to ask. And I feel like I should stop at this point. You guys probably turned off ages ago and I've just been ranting at myself. Can't wait to edit this because it's just going to be so boring. God, I have to edit videos after this. And it's only 9 o'clock. Not been sleeping well the last couple of days. Keep waking up really bloody early, which is fantastic when I'm going to bed like 2 a.m. and I've got night shift, so I really want to be sleeping this time. But no, I'm not allowed to do that. I'll leave you to look at the jellyfish. I'll either cut this out later or not. Let's go see how much money I have. Hopefully I'm not poor. On the positive, now I can buy the Ginger Island beacon. I should have collected my poppies, but I didn't. Oh no. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you can. Time also been awesome. Tell both things are terrible. It's Missy signing off. Goodbye.